What are we waiting for? Let's bring them back home.
Guys, Steve here. So the video that you're about to watch is okay, so this is like it was my first ever serious video I created. I didn't expect it to get like 1K views before it got deleted. It got deleted because of violent graphic content, which is my bad. It was my fault because I didn't know how to censor properly back in 2021. So today I have randomly decided I'm going to re-release and properly censor this video because I feel bad for it, and I feel like, you know, despite this being like a video that could have been condensed into like a 10-minute video, I I can admit that younger me was very passionate about this project, and he wanted to make it as artistic and, you know, weirdly edited as possible. So, you know, I'm gonna re-release what younger me released back then, and I hope, and, you know, let people watch it, because I feel like, you know, despite this not being my best work, I feel like it should be released because it's my work. So yeah. Also just know that the Ada Burton video and the Dice documentary are going to be released. I don't know about the Dice video, however, because I haven't started production yet, but production will be started, I promise. And the Ada Burton video is almost complete, so probably expect it by sometime in July, sometime in August. Between those 2 months, because I know I'm not going further than that. So yeah, enjoy the video, and my name is Steve, and I am out.
Even though it's been a month since this tragic incident happened, it's been stuck in my head actually. Since I saw this video on my For You page, and it's been stuck in my head to the point where I want to make a video on it, but I didn't know if I should make it or not. So yeah, I'm kind of sick and tired of things like this happening on highly popular social media platforms, where something like this will happen and it will traumatize a lot of people. Like, that's really sickening, it's traumatizing, and it's kind of psychopathic, to say the least. It's just disturbing, to say the least. Why do I say this? Well, I say this because around early June, a very sickening, bloody, brutal murder was uploaded on Many people saw it, it went viral, and it got viral to the point where it traumatized a lot of young children and teens and caused it to become popular and controversial around every social media outlet. And yeah. Hi, my name is Steve, and welcome back to another video. On the day where the video surfaced, I just simply chilled out the whole day. Like, I was simply just chilling. I ate breakfast, I sat and thought about life. I got the mail from the leasing office. Yeah, nothing exciting, just a normal, boring day. Until later, where in a Discord server, my friend would text me saying, obviously, my curiosity sparked out of control, and so I simply kept asking to see it, and he didn't have it. It's weird for someone to say that they want to see something like that, but I am weird. So then my friend would send me a link, and I watched it, and it was a warning to warn viewers about this particular decapitation video. My other friend sent a link to it, and it was the same video that I found as well. Then I went onto Twitter. I found a video. And after I was done watching it, let's just say it is bleak, it is disturbing, and it is extremely traumatizing. Around June the 4th, a very disturbing and graphic video appeared on everyone's For You page. Started quite normal, actually. Starts off with a girl dancing to a TikTok song, but then 2 seconds later,
it flashed to something else. Something more grotesque.
it flashed to someone sitting in a bathroom, tied up, bloodied up, and beaten to a bloody pulp, to the point where its face is heavily disfigured and messed up. And 2 armed men entered the room with a dull knife. They walked close to the person, and then one of the men began to behead this person in a fast pace. On film. Now, since the knife is dull, it was quite hard for the men to get the head fully off. It is disturbing, it is vile, and it is terrifying. It's something that no one needs to see. The Traumatized video came from the now flagged TikTok account at MeganGG03. Personally, I have no idea what was on the account besides this video, and I sure think that no one else knows either. But the good thing is that TikTok flagged the account, so that's good. Around the time, theories and speculation began to surface. Now, since the video was in poor quality, as I said, it was hard to identify who the person was that died. So, people began to speculate that the girl in the beginning was the one that died. So yeah, people thought it was the girl that died in the beginning. Because, like, why would somebody ask the girl from the beginning and then cut to a brutal murder? Unless it was the girl. But people then found out that it was in fact a male.
Hi, my name is Mark, and let me introduce you to this man. guy's name is Rodolfo Valenci, a 20-year-old Mexican criminal and extortionist who was originally from Guala, which is in Mexico. He did many crimes such as robbing cars, assaulting businesses, and breaking into people's homes. He started his crimes at the age of 15 along with his friends. Then one day, he was picked up and tortured by an armed group in his town in Cuernavaca. Then he was interrogated and visibly abused by the armed group.
Why am I under suspicion?
Forced to tell them that he was part of a police park group. His interrogation and his execution was broadcasted at the time. I'm going to show you this interrogation, but it will be blurred since YouTube doesn't like seeing these type of things. But you'll be able to hear it, all of it. But viewers' discretion is advised.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Bellusi,
Okay. ¿Con quién trabajas?
con Martín,
¿Cómo le dicen?
el pillo,
Okay. ¿Para quién más trabajas?
para alias el XL, el dueño de la pecera. Hernández,
¿A quién le pagan a quién le pagan de la ley?
a un comandante con clave.
Okay. ¿Qué función tiene ese comandante?
Se le da la información de los demás policías, de los que detienen, y los conecta con los demás.
¿A quién le venden los carros robados?
A Pillo y a los del penal, y al
¿Qué negocios tiene con ellos?
nos manda a robar carros.
Okay. ¿Qué negocios han robado?
Casi todos los robos de Cuernavaca.
¿Quién los manda? ¿Cuál?
El XL, el Frank,
¿A quién han extorsionado?
al mercado y casi todos los negocios.
¿Quién mató al empresario de Teopazolco? ¿Quién es el jefe? ¿Alias quién?
El XL, el dueño de la pecera.
Yeah, I know it's disturbing to hear, probably because it's very real and it happened in real life. But anyway, let me tell you some things that happened to him. He escaped an armed confrontation in a neighborhood in July 2016 where one night armed men allegedly arrived to execute him. And when he was in the company of several subjects drinking intoxicating drinks. However, at the time of the attack by the armed men, they repelled the attack and a prolonged shooting ensued. And was brought to the hospital. It was said that after his recovery, he continued his criminal career. He even participated in 2 more shootings, which they faced rival groups and in which 2 of his accomplices lost their lives while he managed to escape. And it is presumed that is why he immigrated to the state of Morelos, where he joined a criminal group. In addition to the aforementioned crimes, he participated in extortion and other crimes typical of organized crimes. Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot, but at the end of the execution video, the armed group warns the other extortionists at their town that this is how all of them will be left: kidnapped, tortured, interrogated, decapitated, and dismembered.
Se le va a pasar a todos los hijos de su puta madre mierda. Así como este puto vas a morirte tú.
Then on a Friday night, a human trunk was discovered. Without a head or any of his extremities. The Saturday morning, his decapitated head and his genitalia was found in the Bella Vista neighborhood in the same city, along with his remains. Right next to it was a note from the armed group. It reads as the following.
Mr. Commissioner, in view that your equipment has not worked, and on the contrary, all they do is receive money from all criminal groups. Here we give you a clue of some of the groups that are extorting and stealing cars in the city. The name of the head of this organization is AKA. His main collaborators who plan the robberies and extortion are Elias, who from the prison handle all the theft of vehicles and extortion are also guilty of the death of businessmen. As well as many others. For not making the floor payment. You follow your dog like this, they wind up a ball of filthy little ones just like their bosses. You're already close Pucho Colombians that will grab Flat Elias, the exile, will end up like that. The commander with the code
Sourcelessness.
receives money from them and connects the controls. A message to the vehicle recovery groups. Here I have your data, and everyone who receives the fare will soon know about us. And
Yeah, this is some very messed up things going on. The fact that this man got assassinated for his crimes with a heavy, bulky criminal record and had his dismembered body parts scattered around a neighborhood boggles my mind. I mean, I don't feel for the guy. His crimes shouldn't have been done at all. But he could have gone to jail and could have gotten death row, but I guess this was his demise. Dum.
Thank you, my friend. After the identity of the person who died was revealed, people wanted answers. Like, really. What was the purpose of the TikTok? Why would someone even do this? Who was responsible for this? Who was the girl in the beginning of the video? I know there has to be some sort of significance or reasoning for putting the girl in the beginning, right? Right? Well, and switch video? Let me explain. What is a bait and switch video, you may ask? Well, a bait and switch video is something where it starts out completely normal, but then cuts to something else. For example, see that you go on YouTube, right?
Explore Teddy's heart. That is where his love comes from. Look how big it is. Look how much love Teddy has. What has gone wrong?
Find a video that is supposed to be the supposed video that was linked and was uploaded onto YouTube, with the video as the thumbnail. You click on it, and then that's it. That's all there is to it. But it can be the complete opposite. It can be something totally innocent, but then it can also flash to something much more grotesque, bloody, or just downright traumatizing. Here's the thing though. The worst bait and switch videos on the internet are the extremely graphic, gory, and disturbing ones. Yes, there are bait and switch videos that are lighthearted and just, you know, they're just to prank you, right? But the videos that show actual graphic gore just to traumatize people is extremely vile and disturbing and disgusting and honestly disgraceful. And I hate how in this one they decided to post this on an app where there's children are on these apps, and they decide to do this. People saw and were completely horrified. It's sickening. And this hasn't been the first time this has happened as well.
There's a lot of different things that could be done, and these companies don't seem to give half a shit to actually make a reform or do anything. They're only concerned about the, you know, how many more millions of dollars they're going to rake in that year. And it's really disgusting, because it does nothing to protect viewers from seeing things like this, including children, and it does nothing to protect the people that are involved to shut down these streams or contact the proper authorities in a reasonable amount of time.
In conclusion, these type of bait and switch videos are incredibly disturbing. Well, they're controversial, but really they're just very disturbing, which is why you need to be safe when it comes to these types of content. It needs to stop. These videos need to be stopped. Anyway. The main thing that we need to figure out is, who was the girl in the beginning? Well, let's get one thing straight in our heads. No, she is not dead, thankfully. But we have no idea who the girl is. Now, I know who the girl is myself, and I know plenty of people know. But for whoever know, I'm sorry. I simply can't show you because before we found her, we began looking on the internet. We began diving deep within the crevices of those fake at me and GG03 accounts. It was long, but nothing was found. Most of them were empty. Then, baby on such a term, May and GG03, a list of videos will appear of people from both in the US and from foreign countries, all spreading awareness and warning their viewers about this video. While going through them, there was one comment on one of the videos which revealed the girl's name. When you type in the girl's name, it will actually show the real girl. Now, I won't be showing or sharing her name out to the public because 1, it's disrespectful, and 2, it's invading their privacy, and I'm basically revealing somebody's identity to the world that basically doesn't know her. So, yeah, I believe that she doesn't want no one to bother her about this video. since we know that it wasn't her that died, we should be God. Well, not entirely, because a whole man died in the video instead of the girl, but luckily it wasn't her. And I don't want no one to bother her about this video or like harass her, because that's extremely disrespectful and on her end, and that really doesn't need to be happening.
Bomb soap formula will dry your face like soap.
Everybody wants to look touchable. With Dove, my skin feels wonderful.
So what do you do when something hellish like this happens again? Well, it's simple. If you see something like this ever again, just simply report the video, and report the account that posted the video. Why, you ask? Because we don't need another incident like this ever again. Not in a million years. It's disturbing, it's twisted, it's psychotic.
And parents are warning about the latest trend on social media.
New at 5:30 tonight, a graphic, traumatizing video circulating on social media right now.
And it's been done so many times. C1 Rink, Ronnie McNutt, Jonathan Galliando, National Day, Gore fan cams, the one TikTok problem, among many other incidents, are examples of disturbing incidents that happened not just on TikTok, but on every other social media site out there. These incidents are the prime example of how unsafe people can be with all of this disturbing crap. But anything similar to this needs to stop once and for all.
The world's largest social media platform, accused of failing to take action.
And you might think that you're cool and stuff, but you aren't. I don't find traumatizing kids to be funny. I don't find a man getting decapitated funny. People who do this aren't funny. They are just sick in the head.
This made me very upset. Very upset. Maybe even more upset than when they told me he was dead.
I feel kind of scared.
Dude, that's not funny. What's not funny?